Everyone's more focused on the end result of your grades rather than how you're getting through the semester. Everyone's like, the grades are important so you can be a smart person, but they don't really know what's going on inside of you. You could be tearing yourself down every single second of the day to a point where you just can't even get up anymore, and to the part where you just start contemplating taking your life. Mental health is extremely important, but it's not voiced like it should be nowadays.
Ricky Dubison is just one of the millions of American college students living with a mental disorder. Reports from the American College Health Foundation state that 1 out of every 4 college students between the ages of 18 to 25 now meet the criteria for at least one mental health disorder. In even more shocking news, in 2018, there was a 73% increase in mental disorders being diagnosed among college students, leaving some to call the situation a mental health crisis.
I have heard students talk about, particularly is bipolar 1 and 2. I've heard students tell me that they have been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, panic attacks, panic disorder, major depressive disorder.
Among the most diagnosed are depressive and anxiety disorders.
Whenever I talk to my friends who also have depression, we all know that we have depression because it's so much more than just sadness. It weighs on you, it drains you, you can't concentrate on anything. You don't have any energy or motivation or determination to do literally anything. Everything is just hopeless. And with anxiety, it's like, it just gnaws away at literally any thought that you have.
I've had anxiety, before I even started at university, and so it's just been kind of making it harder on me, just constantly worrying about whether or not I'm going to make the right grade or have enough time to study this week due to constantly having to work and go to class and everything.
Some students believe that the pressures being put on them by colleges are taking a toll on their mental health.
I think college has put too many pressures on students, just too many expectations, I think, are put on students, expecting them to reach a certain standard that sometimes is kind of impossible to achieve.
I do think that colleges are putting too much pressure on students today. I think that if it were not on such a fast track method, it would probably be better, because everything that college has to offer, I believe, is something that could be beneficial, but not when it's all dumped on you at once.
And Ricky Dubison believes that the pressure to maintain high grades and GPA to stay in school can sometimes be just too much.
Do you feel that schools are putting too much pressure on students today?
Yeah, so much pressure. Because if you don't have the best grades, then you won't have a good GPA. If you don't have a good GPA, you probably won't get scholarships and grants that'll help you pay for school, which can help you continue education. Teachers, well, not teachers, I'll just say staff, they don't really understand that we have so much more going on. We don't have the support from our families like we used to. We're being thrown into a completely different situation that when we are used to.
Even though many colleges and universities offer free counseling for its students, many feel that college counseling centers are letting its students down. This is because many college counseling centers are understaffed, like here at the University of South Alabama.
Here at South, nearly 16,000 students are currently enrolled. The problem? The university's counseling and mental health services only has around 8 full-time counselors, making it extremely difficult to meet the demands of its students seeking professional help. In fact, when I reached out for an interview, I was denied, but met with a statement that verified that the University of South Alabama Counseling Center is extremely busy and extremely understaffed.
It's a problem because I think every student can benefit from some counseling. Even those students who are top of their game academically, they may have anxieties about maintaining that or what to do afterward. And so having more counselors and staff available to help students is always a benefit. Unfortunately, many states don't recognize the need for that yet.
I would like to see college counseling centers to up their staff, be able to provide even groups, just basic general stress reduction and anxiety. seen a huge increase in anxiety in our communities and high schools and colleges. And again, it's all preventable, or at least manageable.
Another problem among college counseling centers, a lack of promotion and advertisement for its students. Many students here at South didn't even know that the college provided a counseling service.
We have counseling centers, but I feel like they're not advertising it enough because I went to school and I didn't even know that there was a counseling center until probably a couple of semesters later, which I really could have used my first couple of semesters.
My son, when he started having a lot of stress and anxiety, I told him to go to the counseling center at his school. He told me he didn't even know where it was or if they even had one. So I had to go on the website, find that they did have one, find the location, and I had to even call myself and find out exactly what's the process, what does he need to do, where does he need to go, and provide that information to my son. Most people aren't going to take all those steps, and if something's that hard to find or not even know that it exists, they're not going to know to go look for, or even where to go look for it.
The effects of a prolonged untreated mental illness can lead to even more dire situations, such as drug and alcohol addiction and even suicide. Reports now show that 1 out of every 5 college students have at least contemplated suicide in the past year.
The suicide rates in general seem to be increasing amongst teenagers and college students. It seems to be a taboo. People don't want to talk about it, even if they notice some signs, which may be some abnormal behavior for the person. It's important that you do talk about it, because I can assure you that you're not giving the person any thoughts or ideas that he or she haven't already thought of.
Has there ever been a point where you were so overcome with school and dealing with mental issues that you've ever contemplated suicide?
Multiple times a semester, if I can put it like that. There's just been so many times where I've been overwhelmed by classwork and family relations, friend relations, work, that it just piled up so high that I couldn't even see the top anymore. It was so far, it just didn't seem like I could accomplish it. And doing task after task, it just kind of gnawed away even more at energy, which it made me feel like I was fighting an uphill battle, and I was like, why am I even fighting this battle?
But today, Ricky is doing much better and has a very important message for colleges.
If you had one thing to tell schools on how to improve on mental health care, what would it be?
I feel like it needs to be talked about more. It needs to be more normalized. It needs to be everywhere that you see it. Like, if you see a football poster, then you need to see something about mental health, because physical health and mental health are equal.